Okay, hi. Today I wanted to talk about a subject that I believe is one of the most important, if not the most important aspects of weight training in order to improve your physique. This isn't just weight training, powerlifting, strength training. We're looking here to change our physique. We're looking here to stimulate muscle growth. And the best way to do that, I believe, is something called the mind-muscle connection. Now, when I was starting out training many years ago, I read lots. I'd buy all the magazines and I'd read and read and read about the food, about the training, and my muscle connection would come up. But I dismissed it. I really just thought, oh, hippie, if I want to get big and I just have to get stronger. So if I want a big chest, what do? I bench heavier. If I want big biceps, I curl heavier. I really thought it was that straightforward, and I was wrong. I did make some gains in those years, but they were primarily, I believe, from just the consistency of turning up. Just keep turning up and training, you will get some results. But will you get the best results for your efforts? No. You have to incorporate this mind-muscle connection technique to really connect and develop the stimulation in the muscles, without which you're just moving weights. And I know it's called weight training. I hope that wasn't too loud in the background. I know it's called weight training, but there's more to this than just moving a weight from point A to point B. That's not what we're here for. We are here to stimulate muscle growth, stimulate that reaction in the muscle. And in order to do that, we have to train the muscle correctly and fully. So, for example, if you're doing bench press, you aren't just going, oh, I want this weight to go from here to here, because that's bench press technically, yeah, but you're not actually hitting the pectoral muscles. If you're not paying attention, there's a very good chance you're stimulating your delts and your triceps as much, if not more, than your pectoral muscles. And that's fine if you really want to impress everyone in the gym and move a weight, but are you trying to impress people with your bench press numbers, or are you trying to develop a physique? Hopefully you're here for the latter. If you're trying to do bench press numbers, then obviously this is the wrong video for you. But no, we're trying to develop a physique here. That's the whole idea. Yeah, of course we want to get stronger, but the physique is a big part of this. So if you focus on that mind-muscle connection, you will develop the pectorals more because you're working them harder. So it's kind of like the weight needs to be there to obviously stimulate the muscles, but the weight itself isn't the goal. The goal is to train the muscle. So with that in mind, I've got some notes. I kept some notes of how I believe the best way is to work on to gain that mind-muscle connection. So I'm going to run through a few of these, and it's going to help. Of course it is. Firstly, slow down. You must slow the exercise down to feel it fully, without bringing in too much momentum, without just letting the weight itself dictate the pace of the movement. If you have to go lighter, and this is going to be a feature of a lot of these techniques to get the mind-muscle connection going, you have to go lighter. So slow down, feel the muscle working in the movement. Warm-up sets of the exercise you're doing. Start with a lightweight, nice high reps, but again, slow, get the blood into the muscle. Really get a feel for that exercise before you get to your working sets. Contraction of the muscle at the peak part of the movement. Bicep curls, for example, you're up here. Feel it working. Don't rest at the top and then down. Just contract it. Slow up, contract, and down. And again, with that in mind, a slow eccentric, slow lowering of the weight is vitally important. That's almost classed as a negative rep, where you're really working and resisting the weight on the negative, the eccentric. Slow it down. You really feel the muscle working harder when you're trying to resist the weight as it goes down. Avoid distractions. Don't look at your phone in between sets, because that's going to take you out of where you are. Not only will your rest periods get longer because you're on your phone, and trust me, 1 minute becomes 3 minutes very quickly when you're looking at your phone. So avoid distractions where possible. Interesting one. You might not expect this one. It's about avoid mirrors. Don't look at the mirror. If you're looking at the mirror, yeah, you can get a feel for your form, but if you take the mirror away, what are you left with? It's just you and your muscle. You can focus on what you're feeling more than if you're just looking at the mirror. Again, it can be another distraction. Flex in between sets. It sounds a bit odd, but if you're flexing between sets, you're feeling the muscle working. You're keeping the blood in the muscle. You're making that connection tighter between you and the muscle. So it's anything that just reinforces that connection between your mind and your muscle. Break your set down into individual reps. Now, I'm not saying do 1 rep and stop, because that's just silly. Break your set down into individual reps. What I mean is you do 1 rep and pause, reset. 2nd rep, pause, reset. It really keeps you focused on where you are and what you're doing. It keeps that connection tight, whereas the continual banging. Again, these techniques have their place, but if you're trying to really develop that mind-muscle connection for the first time and really work on that, little things like just that little pause at the bottom, okay, and then again. So it's a way of thinking about breaking the set down into individual reps. So there's a brief introduction to mind-muscle connection. Each of those techniques will work. Combine them all together, you're absolutely going to develop that mind-muscle connection that you really, really need to develop the physique that you want. It's so important. What do you want to do more? Do you want to tell people what you bench press, or do you want to impress them with your physique? I've got a feeling it's the latter, which is why you're on YouTube looking for these sorts of videos. You will develop the physique you want if you really focus on its mind-muscle connection and just leave your ego at the door. Find the weight that you can lift with effort. You go to failure, but keeping that connection tight and keeping your form strict. And when I say failure, I mean technical failure. Not you can't move the weight. You can't move the weight within the correct form. That's probably another video. Hope this helps. Cheers.